now, not ever. Trying to get me caught up chit-chatting. Not today, Satan.
Trying to bring the demons out of me.
I took a lease out on your heart. I took a lease out on your heart. Can I at least have fun? Can I at least have fun? Can I at least have fun?
Welcome back, everybody. We are Rough Red Creatures. You are the audience, and together we are on a quest for Dynasty Domination. How's it going over there, boys?
Pretty good. I'm
Hey!
back, baby. I don't know
We
if it's a
had a
good thing or
dog.
bad thing for the audience.
I know it's a wonderful thing. I'm glad you're back, AJ.
Forget
Yeah,
the
man.
audience. It's wonderful for us. Bring
This,
it.
that,
Now
that's what
y'all are
this
gonna get my
podcast is about, anyway,
you're gonna
right?
get my sweet
For sure.
Kylan Hill intel.
Oh, hell no,
Oh
dude.
God, forgot about Kylan Hill.
I
Oh,
know, dude.
gosh.
Every
Maybe we
time I look at
should
my cards, I'm
rethink
like, why
this.
do I have 10 of these?
You guys want to know who the Larry Roundtree of the 2026 class is?
Yes.
We got your back.
Well, that's right. We are all back. The original trio of RDR is back for the tournament. We're going to keep going. If you were here last week, you heard the South and the West round of 64. So we're going to hit you with the Midwest this month or this week. And this is one of the stronger sides of the bracket, I think. A lot of big names. So, I mean, without further ado, we can just dive right into this bad boy. So we'll go up with our number one seeded Jeremiah Love, running back out of Notre Dame, going up against the 16 seed running back out of Pittsburgh, Desmond Reed. I don't think this one is hard at all.
No.
No.
Jeremiah Love, superstar, crushed it at the combine, even when he didn't need to. All he could have done is lower his stock, and somehow he still raised it. So, um,
Yeah, that was nuts. It was like, I think it affected free agency.
oh, for
Bec-
sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're like, we're not going to be able to get love, so
I think
let's
that
go.
like the Chiefs and the Saints and all those teams went after running backs for that very reason. Yeah, I think you're right.
It's
Um,
insane.
but on to Desmond Reed, man. He's a fun little player, little being the operative word. But Desmond, he's a standout pass catcher, man. Could easily be like a third down passing role guy. 580 yards receiving in 2024, 310 in 2025 on just 7 games. But that's kind of my thing with him is he's never going to be a three down guy. He's too small. I mean, last season he dealt with 3 separate injuries that made him miss a portion of the season, and he's 5'6", 174 pounds. Like, I'd love to see it. He's a dynamic player, but I just don't see him being able to rely on him.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. It's pretty clear he couldn't stay on the field. Even like in the smaller colleges, I think he went to like North NC Central, like North
Hmm.
Carolina Central before he went to Pittsburgh, and he was having injuries then. So when you're that small and you're that injury prone, it's cool to be fun, dynamic. And I think he's going to get on the field and have some pop games. Probably a name that gets circulated, but not someone you could trust in the fantasy world so
Hmm.
much due to that size and that injury history. But I don't know. What do
Yeah,
you
I feel
think?
that too, because like I think you can kind of see why he gets injured, right? Because he like plays with like this big attitude, just in this like small body. Like he's
Hmm.
willing to block, he's willing to get physical, but I mean, you can't sustain it in the college level. It's like, what are you gonna do at the next level? It's just kind of one of those sad moments where you're like, man, if you were just like, I don't know, just add 25 pounds,
Yeah,
add like 3 inches, you'd be such an elite player. Just unfortunately, that's not how it happens. When your hands are smaller than Kenny Pickett's, it's a
that's
bad sign.
that's
That's all
tough.
I'm
Ouch,
saying.
Yeah.
dude. It's a
Uh,
no-go.
yeah, no, it's I mean, like you look at a guy that's similar size in Darren Sproles, and he had 20 pounds on him, and he
Yeah.
got hurt all the time in the NFL. So poor Desmond Reed, but yeah, he's gonna stay here in the round of 64. Jeremiah Love moving on. So next up, we've got our 8 seed tight end out of Ohio State, Max Clare, going up against a combine standout in number 9 seed Jeff Caldwell out of Cincinnati, wide receiver. He's taking up our small school spot. Cincinnati arguably doesn't deserve to be in the small school spot. They're a little more pop than some of these other schools we use, but I couldn't really find one, so we went with Mr. Caldwell. What do we think, man? The combine really showed out for this kid.
Yeah, no, that's a good one for Caldwell popping in there. AJ's gonna make fun of me for the rest of my life, and we're just getting started. So I
All
like
good.
that. For some reason, Christian, I'm just gonna let you decide on this one. Honestly, I think that Max Claren wins it
Mm,
personally.
I do too.
Uh, Caldwell had himself. I'm trying to remember. Did he run that 4.30 or something like
He
that?
had a 4.31,
4.31.
a 42-inch vert, an 11-inch or 11-foot,
Okay.
2-inch broad, which gave him a 92 or 92nd percentile burst score, and he had a 100th percentile catch radius. So just an absolute
Damn.
athletic freak this guy is. And I think he earned a look at the NFL just on those numbers alone. Like, and he's 6'5", 216. So he's not some little guy doing all this stuff. He's a massive target. And yeah, I think he earned himself a job, but he also transferred from the Linwood Lions to Cincinnati last
Oh,
season,
What?
over in St. Louis. He had a 1,000-yard season with the Lions and 11 touchdowns. He gets to Cincy, only puts up 470 yards and 6 scores. And you would like to see those contested catch numbers be a little better with that freak wingspan. Only 42%, 20 of 47. But I mean, just those traits alone, some team is going to salivate and draft him and try and develop him for sure.
Yeah, I thought it was a little disappointing. His contested catch was under 40%. He only had 5 of 13. At
Mm,
6'5", you
for
think
this
you
year, yeah.
could, right? You think you'd have a better jump ball ability. And
Hmm.
his catch rate was only 55%, which is kind of low as well, and 3 drops on 58 targets. Kind of disappointing to say the least, but you're right. He's got that outstanding athleticism that's probably going to give him an opportunity somewhere.
For sure.
yeah, absolutely. And like, I mean, I don't know. Sometimes you just got to follow the pedigree, right? It's just like, you know, you go from the Linwood Lions
Lions,
to
yeah.
Big
Yeah, of
12 and he still
course.
put up 400 points or 400 yards.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like you had your opportunity to be battle tested, but at the same
Hmm.
size, like these scouts are just going to salivate at just the size
For
alone.
sure.
Like, what was the guy from UCF that the Rams drafted in like the second round or third round? I forget what his name was. Um,
Uh, yeah, I'm
but
drawing a
I mean,
blank.
like, especially with all this 12 personnel coming up and like
Hmm.
all these heavy sets, like who wouldn't want a big guy
Yeah.
setting the edge? You know?
Yeah, and
So
he tries really hard on the blocking scheme and stuff. I don't know how consistent he was. It was hard to find a ton of tape on him.
Yeah.
yeah,
But he did. I remember him trying a lot. So I think he'll get on the field for a team. Oh, go ahead.
Jacob Harris.
Jacob Harris. Oh, that's
That's
right.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Jacob
Tight end,
Harris.
right?
No, he was
Was he a
like a
wide receiver? Oh,
receiver, and then
he's
they
like a
like
hybrid.
converted him,
That's
yeah,
right.
because of
Yeah.
his size. So
Hmm.
Yeah, we'll see, man. I'm intrigued to just kind of peep where Caldwell's going to go. I do think he took himself from like a potential undrafted free agent to like the fifth, sixth round, probably. And maybe somebody pops on him early, but I don't think it's enough to beat Claire. But you and I are both fairly high on Max Claire, if I remember right as well.
Yeah, no, that's a fact. And so you can't beat a favorite, an RDR favorite. This is where mistakes are made in the tournament. We fall in love. People get
Exactly.
hurt.
Absolutely. All right. So Jeff Caldwell is going to stay here in the round of 64. Max Clare is going to move on. Up next, we've got our 5 seed wide receiver Omar Cooper Jr. out of Indiana going up against the 12 seed Nicholas Singleton, running back out of Penn State. I'm obviously a big Cooper fan. We're both big Singleton fans. I actually don't know your opinion on Mr. Singleton there, AJ, but I feel like he got a tough draw here because I think Cooper at the combine played himself into a first round wide receiver.
I mean, I'd love to hear your guys' opinion because I was not very impressed with Singleton
Okay.
in my current opinion. But I think it's also because my heart's been snatched by uh so many guys like this, right? I don't know. I just felt like his cuts were like really slow motion. I feel like
Hmm.
honestly just felt like he closes his eyes before he goes into holes. I mean, he felt fat-footed. It felt like he got arm tackled. It's like he had to rely to get to the second level to do stuff. I do feel like once he got to the second level, extremely explosive.
Hmm.
Relied heavily on cutting it outside.
Yeah.
Great in the screen game, which could be a
Yeah.
total asset in the NFL level. I mean, he did squat 650 pounds, set a record at Penn State, which is
Good Lord.
crazy because Saquon Barkley went there.
Yeah.
But to
Bet
me,
Jalen
man,
Hurts didn't go there.
yeah, right. Well, so this is a fun little thing. I was like, this is my comp. What if Caleb Johnson, Brian Robinson, and DJ Gittens all like met together in a bar and became one guy?
Hard
Okay.
pass.
That's how I feel about him. So I'm
Okay.
looking forward to seeing what you guys think. I do think like a guy that came to mind was like Isaiah Pacheco, where it's just
Sure.
like,
Hmm.
if you get him in the right place, the right strength coach, or like maybe his explosiveness could be, you know,
Mm.
an asset. But
Hmm.
I'd love to hear what you guys think because I wasn't a huge fan.
Well, I kind of relate. I mean, I'm with you. I thought that he had nice like takeoff speed, but you're right. His best work was along the boundary. He didn't
Hmm.
have a lot of like power through contact, and he didn't have a lot of open field juke style. I found that to be disappointing, but he did keep his hips square, and he always had his momentum going downfield. So he was moving in the right direction. I hate guys that get a little squirrely. He didn't really fuss around. Like he was always trying to get downfield. But you didn't see a lot of creativeness, similar to Caleb Johnson, which
Hmm.
was definitely a bummer for me. But 6 foot 220, it's pretty good size. I think, yeah, I mean, obviously for me, Omar Cooper Jr. Is running away with this one. I've been having a
Yeah.
lot of fun watching these Indiana wide receivers. So this is a win for them for sure. But are you with us on the Singleton thing?
It sounds like I like him a little bit more than you guys. I think he had a really down year this year, which I mean, if
Sure.
that trends, then obviously he's just going out the window. But I mean, I see what you guys are saying. I mean, you look at his missed tackles force number, and he's 19, which is like fifth worst in the tournament of guys that we have here, for a guy that has a lot of pop on his name. So I see that. I do love his burst though, and his. I would have loved to see him see what he did at the combine, but he topped out speed wise at 23.6 miles an hour. So if he does reach, he's a home run hitter, man. And he did have 106 missed tackles forced through 4 years, so it's not like he couldn't do that at all. Just this year got away from him, and again, if that is just who he is now, then yeah, I mean he did lose his starting job. But
Yeah.
I just like his dual threat ability as well. 91 catches for 901 yards and 8 touchdowns over the last 3 years while still splitting time with Allen. Obviously, Katron Allen doesn't give you a lot in the passing game. So I like his traits. I'm intrigued to see where he goes. If he ends up, again, I say this all the time, I gotta stop saying it, but weak running back room where he can kind of see the field, I'd love to see what he does. I feel like he's like a back end of the first round, early second round guy in terms of rookie draft. But that's almost also just because like there's not the clearest number two running back in this class. It's Love and then like whoever you like. So I could see him going there. But I hear you guys. I'll have to dig back into him and see some of the stuff you guys are seeing. But I didn't. He didn't have a shot of beating Cooper.
No.
I mean, I like Cooper a lot.
No,
So
he's definitely. I mean, he's got some upside for sure. You're right. He
yeah.
had 2,000 yard seasons. He's just not coming off of one.
Yeah, and he is one of the younger of the backs in this
Yeah.
class. Obviously not because Jeremiah Love is just the superstar. He's 21, but he'll be Nicholas Singleton will be 22 to start the year. So that's a plus for him as well. But yeah, definitely does not beat Cooper. So Cooper Jr., Omar Cooper Jr. moving on, and Singleton staying here. Next up, we got the 4 seed Chris Bell, wide receiver out of Louisville. Going up against the 13 seed Kevin Coleman Jr. out of Missouri. Um, Coleman Jr. was a guy I did a profile on and
Yeah.
was kind of excited about his potential, but was worried about any potential upside he had. And then I think my worries were just like validated through the combine, to be honest. I mean, he comes out and he runs a 4.49, which isn't terrible, but he's 5'10", 179 pounds. He gets an 82nd percentile burst score, which is okay, but that just everything for him was okay. And that was kind of what I said. I liked his route running. I liked his versatility, but I just thought he kind of was just fine. And I felt like that's just what I walked away with. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think he was pretty good. I didn't like that he's under 180 and running
Yeah.
basically a 4.5.
Mhm.
Um, it was pretty interesting. His volume was pretty low compared to the some other guys in the tournament, but he was still doing well with the missed tackles forced.
Yeah.
Um,
Shifty.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
and he had a really good like per catch yak was nice. So I
Hmm.
don't know. He was really shifty. Um, I gotta I gotta say that 82% contested catch and 80% catch rate was nice. So
Yeah.
I didn't understand why he wasn't kind of leaned on a little heavier, but he was 3 schools in 3 years, so that can explain it. But he's got a lot of traction right now. I think it would have been nice if he had some more speed.
Mm.
And he's kind of drowning in a sea of pretty good slot receivers in this draft class.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I weirdly really like this guy
Okay.
on film. I just for me, like obviously you take away the size and the combine, obviously those are important things, right? But
Hmm.
like I think what I really liked about him is the dude just had a motor. Like
Hmm.
I mean, the guy like didn't take plays off. Like he ran every route. He's willing to block. Like he'll run a hitch and he's selling his route and then turn around and blocking on like a just like a draw play. I mean, I just kind of really like that. I think it's not a guy I want on my fantasy team, but like it's kind
Mm.
of a guy I kind of want on my actual like the Minnesota Vikings or
Yeah.
like put him in like a Josh McDaniels offense where he could be like a third down guy because all he does is kind of run like all those underneath routes. I just think he could be like a special teams guy that could find a role in a place, but obviously this is a fantasy podcast, so
Yeah.
you know I mean, I'm not taking him any fantasy drafts, but I wouldn't be surprised if like you heard this guy's name in like 3 years just as a
Yeah.
role player. You know what I mean?
For sure,
So
being one of those guys that your team definitely relies on, but just like you can't
right,
for
right,
your
right.
fantasy team. And then, I mean, just to mention Chris Bell real quick, I'm bummed he didn't participate in the combine. I think he was injured. No, I'm not sure, but I really liked him on tape in terms of potential and traits. So it would have been nice to see that on paper, but. Yeah, I'm with you on Coleman. Especially that was a good point, Daniel, about the slot guys. There's a bunch of them, super fast slot guys too. So I feel like he'll get a
Yeah.
little lost, but I don't disagree, AJ. I think he will be a player that teams fans will like to have on their real team, but not necessarily fantasy wise.
Yeah.
So then Chris Bell, 4 seed moving on, and Kevin Coleman Jr. is going to stay put. So we got a Notre Dame matchup coming up now. We've got the 6 seed Jadarian Price, running back for Notre Dame, going up against the 11 seed in Malachi Fields, wide receiver for Notre Dame. I've seen a lot about Malachi Fields combine being disappointing, and I think that's overly harsh. What do you think?
I do think it was pretty harsh to call it disappointing.
Hmm.
Um, I think that he had a lot of buzz coming off a Senior Bowl, and he was a player that people were getting pretty excited about. A 4.61 is not sexy by
Hmm.
any means. But when you're 6'5", 218, like that's fine. The speed score was 76th percentile, so it wasn't necessarily disappointing. It was average, but I think that you have to understand that's not what he's out there doing. Like he's not
Hmm.
a speed guy.
Yeah,
Um, he actually excelled. I think that Price wins this one. We've established that. Yeah.
I think
Yes,
so.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So for Fields, I think that like don't be confused about what he did at the combine because The way he played his game, he outsized people at the catch point. It
Mhm.
didn't matter if they ran alongside him. He almost baited them into it. It wasn't about separation for him. It was about being physical, and they used him extremely well. He had the highest A dot of the tournament with 16.4, and his yards per catch were 17.5. And that's insane. Like if he had ran a 4.5 or sub 4.5, I think we would probably be talking about him as a first round option.
Yeah.
I think he's got extremely useful traits, and it's not about speed for him. It's about being a down the field stretch guy with big play potential. I'm not going to drop any names out there too hard, but I think if you could see a Mike Evans type of wide receiver out of this
Mm.
class, he is that guy.
Yeah.
So I don't think anyone at the pro level is going to stop him from having the same kind of success. I think it slots right in, and he offers something that a lot of these guys can't. A downfield, big body guy. We love that. We just haven't seen it very recently. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I like him.
I
It's a tough
just
draw with Price.
I just wanted to read these notes real quick. Built like a power forward, 4.640,
Mm.
soft hands, great contended catch. It's a little slow off the line, can't separate, all while wearing the navy and wait. Oh, this says 2001. Sage Surratt?
Oh, dude. Hey, come
Oh,
on,
whoa.
dude.
What?
Get
Oh,
out
so
of here,
sorry. I guess
man.
I just got my notes mixed up there. Sorry.
You, you devil.
I'm just kidding. I mean, dude, one thing to consider, he did play quarterback in high school.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. There we
Dual
go. Full
threat,
circle.
obviously, 6'4". Can you imagine that guy playing quarterback, dude? Just like, I mean, he just was like, I'll just run, I guess, and
Yeah.
just shed every block on the way down. But
Jeez.
He did the yeah, he did the thing that Taylor Green should have done.
yeah, I will say one name that did come, and I'm not going to try to push this at all, but like a guy that came to mind was Nico Collins a little bit
Mm.
because I'm just like, you're in this. Is Notre Dame in the Big Ten yet? Is that a thing? Or are they still?
They're still independent.
They're still
Independent,
independent.
Yeah.
I
Weak
just feels like
sauce.
They were
you just like
ACC last year. No, that was Virginia.
yeah.
Never mind.
Well, it's just like it's just like this big body receiver, but like I think that's a disappointing thing, right? It's like you don't really get to see what he can do because he's in such a power heavy, run heavy offense. So it'd be interesting to see who wants to take him, develop him, turn him into something, and see what he can do for sure.
Hmm. No,
Yeah,
go ahead.
I was just say he had back-to-back 800-yard seasons at Virginia in the ACC prior to this year, so it's a little
Yeah.
bit of little pepper that in.
Yeah, no, ironically, I kind of went into this matchup thinking that Price was going to run away with it, and I still picked him, but it was honestly closer than I thought. Like, getting into the Fields tape, like, you guys kind of hit a lot of it, so I'll just kind of sprinkle in some more. I mean,
Okay.
you talked about his wingspan and his size, like 85th catch radius is super strong for him, and he showed it off massively. Did you guys watch the Pitt game from him? Holy
Oh yeah,
one-handed catch.
Oh
My
yeah, sure.
God, that catch
yeah,
was incredible. And so yeah, you talk about him bodying people out. He doesn't need to be that much doesn't need to have that much separation. 35 for 74 on his career in terms of contested catches, which is really good. Pretty strong numbers. To me, I think if he's a wide receiver too, I think that's where he fits best, and he could be like a high-end wide receiver too. I'd be a little skeptical if a team tries to rely on him to run their offense through. And when I was
Yeah,
thinking about that, it reminded me of another big-bodied, slower circus catch making wide receiver who I didn't really like coming out, and that was Keon Coleman.
oh
And
shit.
that's what the Bills tried to do was make him the one, and it hasn't really worked. So if
yep,
some team goes up and gets Fields and wants them to be their number one option, I'll be skeptical. But if he's got like a not necessarily this high end, but like he's the T. Higgins to Jamar Chase,
Yeah,
I'd be all over that.
yep. Well,
I
as
think
long as
that
Sean
potential's
McDermott
there.
doesn't draft him, then we should be good.
Yeah.
You know.
Uh-oh. Yeah, we don't have to worry about that anymore, right?
I don't think so. But yeah, no. So Fields stays put here in the round of 64. Unfortunately, Jadarian Price is going to move on. So next up, we got our only quarterback of the Midwest bracket. We got number 3 seeded Fernando Mendoza out of IU, PFF Big Board number 1 overall player, got him against the 14 seed Katron Allen, running back out of Penn State. Um, I don't like the quarterbacks in this draft, but I find it difficult to put Allen over Mendoza. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I think
Yeah.
that Mendoza gets the thumbs
Okay.
up, given that Heisman respect, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, dude.
he's got to at
Just
least make it out of the 64,
That's
right?
like that's a buy.
yeah.
That's a buy.
Dude, like fun fact, I was watching Desmond Reed film,
Hmm.
and I was like, oh, I kind of was like scouring his, I want to see like, I look at the ESPN, I'm like, oh, you had bad games, I want to look at that, I want to look at your good games. He played
Hmm.
Cal in 2024. I'm just like, why am I getting an ad every 30 seconds? So like, oh, Fernando Mendoza is the quarterback for Cal
Yeah.
right now. I'm just like, okay, this is insane, but yeah, it makes so much sense. Anyway, go ahead. I don't know who's up.
Oh
Go
no,
Yeah.
ahead.
I mean we've talked about Allen quite a bit. I did a profile on him. He's come up quite a bit. Taking the job over from Singleton. I do like him. He's like a consistent running back. One fumble a year basically. 864 yards is his career low, even when he was the number
Mhm.
two to Singleton. Ended the year absolutely monstrously. 181 yards at Michigan State, 160 at Nebraska, and then 226 at Rutgers. Just, I mean, he's got really good vision, cut execution. He's got a lot of traits that I like. The top end speed is lacking. He's not a home run hitter, not a receiving threat really, unless somebody just unlocks him. But they did not do that at Penn State. Um, I'm worried about upside and longevity with him. Just because we see these guys that are like not the craziest athletes, but really good at the running back position, come in and burst onto the scene for a couple years and then kind of disappear once somebody just a little bit more athletic takes over for them. So I worry about that happening with him. But he's definitely on my radar in terms of running backs I'd like to target in this draft still.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah, no, it's incredible. He had 1,300 yards while sharing the field with
Yeah.
Singleton, and he had the 15 scores. You're right. I mean, um, he wasn't receiving the ball, but honestly, there was a better option. So it's hard
Yeah.
to say he didn't have that in his wheelhouse. But I don't know. This guy, I've always said I kind of poop on him, but I thought he liked creativity, man. I thought
Yeah.
he took advantage of the offense's opportunity instead of really creating on his own. So I'm kind of skeptical, but you're right. The production, I mean, 4,000 yards in 4 years, it's pretty impressive with 39 scores. So I'll take that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with like honestly everything you were saying, Christian, is like exactly what I wrote in my notes. I love his choppy feet, man. He never
Hmm.
stops. He's got great twitch. Like he hits the hole. Like I mean, he feels like a natural back. He just kind of lacks a little bit of the strength. I feel
Mm.
like, and obviously the home run. It was funny because I was looking up different sites and I saw a comp to Kennedy Brooks and I was like, man, I fell in love with Kennedy Brooks, and then he just like flopped. I'm like, oh gosh,
Yeah.
the longer you do this, the more hesitant you are. But no,
Oh
I
yeah.
I liked everything he had to do. I think it had a lot to do with why I kind of poo-pooed on
Mm.
Singleton a little bit because
Gotcha.
I'm just
Yeah.
like, hey, like still he's not. I still feel like Allen's not like an elite player, but Singleton still lost the competition. So I'm just kind of like,
Yeah.
it just seems.
Yeah, it was kind of weird how that all went down. I mean, Penn State, I don't know if they just moved to him exclusively just because he was performing better, or they just wanted to try something different because they weren't having a great year. I'm not sure. But yeah, it's pretty crazy, and he's still not really getting the respect he deserves. I mean, if I do the seedings of this bracket off of the PFF big board, and I was shocked that Allen was like so much farther down than Singleton. I mean, I guess he wasn't that much farther down. You got the 12 seed versus the 14 seed for the Midwest, but still, it was shocking to me that he held on to that spot. But yeah, so Katron Allen is going to stay in the round 64. Pretty crazy. If you would have told me a year ago that neither one of these Penn State backs made it out of the 64, that would have been crazy.
Oh
They
shit.
ran into some tough matchups, to be fair, though,
Yeah.
two IU boys. So Fernando
That's
Mendoza moving on.
That line was crazy,
Oh
by the
yeah,
way. Watching that line move at Penn State, you're just like, holy shit,
they were good.
Anyway,
Yeah. All right, so we got the 7 seed, another IU boy, and one of Daniel's boys, Elijah Surratt, wide receiver. Another Surratt. Oh, there. I
How many
see the.
Surratts, dude? Yeah, you want to be my friend? Adopt the name Surratt. It's on.
Yeah,
Yep.
apparently that's all it takes. Going up against the 10 seed, Seth McGowan, running back out of Kentucky. I'm gonna let you take this, Daniel, because both these guys are kind of a couple of your guys. Yeah.
Yeah, and I really had a trouble, I usually try in the tournament. It's a lot of throughput, so I try to like assume who's gonna lose
Hmm.
and save the profile for the winner for the future. But on this one, I just wrote them both up, and I thought, I'll know through the process who I'm feeling needs to continue on, and unsurprisingly to. Yeah, the listeners, I am selecting Elijah
Yeah.
Surratt to continue on, and for me, it was the film. I mean, I think Surratt is next level, and so I'll get into him as we go on.
Mm.
But for McGowan, um, there was just enough things that he was missing in his game. Honestly, I don't even think I would have considered him as remotely close to winning this until he had that outrageous combine where he had a 99th percentile burst score and he's got the second highest speed score in this tournament for running
Hmm.
backs
Hmm.
after Love. So when you get down to the numbers, it's insane athleticism versus proven production in a high profile spot, being
Hmm.
national champion. IU, they really weathered the storm. So you look at 6 foot, you look at 215, you look at 449, and that's pretty incredible for McGowan. So that turned a lot of heads, but he's 25 and a half right now.
Yeah.
He'll be rolling 26 going into the season. That's a killer. I think that, not enough receiving work, and this is like 2020 in Oklahoma, and then skip ahead to 2024 in New Mexico State, and then finally in Kentucky last year. It's just kind of a little too scattered, not a lot of consistency. And so I didn't love it. Watching him run was pretty interesting.
Hmm.
He like steers his steps like by angling his lower body. It was just kind of weird, but he kept the upper body headed upfield, and I thought he had a lot of power through contact. He like slows down to drive through guys, and he had some good decision making. So he's good as a runner, but I just can't do it with the 26-year-old rookie. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Especially not at running back.
Right,
Yeah.
sure.
Like he's already going to be entering our RDR danger zone for RBs in his
You
rookie
can't do
year.
that.
Yeah, like that's just not
God,
going
I
to
hope he
work.
made that NIL money, dude.
Yeah, for real. I don't
There you
know
go.
coming out of Kentucky, but yeah, he's got some stuff to him. He's got some juice. Obviously, I was surprised by the combine as well. That size and speed and burst category really would be getting me going if he wasn't 25 already. But I do think he could be like a RB2, RB1 in a pinch for an NFL team, but it's only going to be for like 2 years before he's just going to be kind of out the door already. So that's ultimately what did it for me. I like Surratt, not as much as you, but I just think McGowan doesn't have enough game-breaking traits. I mean, his long for the season was 20 yards.
Ouch.
Like that's just not gonna cut it for me. And then like 35 missed tackles forced on 215 attempts. There's guys that had less attempts that had more than that. So I don't know. There's just not enough for me to get really excited about McGowan. But I wouldn't mind him in like the Green Bay running back room for a couple of years.
Yeah. Yeah, that's when I watch that, it's just like, man, you have so much explosiveness. Quit dancing in the hole, man.
Yeah.
Just like hit it and go. Like, because once he hits that top speed, it's crazy. Like it's like that burst. I don't know, man. I just for me, it just felt like he would pick and choose when he wanted to when he wanted to go through contact, and I think that might have something to do with his age. I just I don't know. He just feels like his twitch is so good. His athleticism is so insane that it's like I feel like his feet move before his brain can process what he's doing
Mhm.
sometimes. So it's just like I don't know if you can find that balance, but then is that Twitch worth it? I don't know, but he's an interesting prospect because he could literally go anyway. Be a special teams player that could return a bunch of
Yeah.
kicks,
Yeah.
or just be a real special, like that jersey you wear for your life because he never did anything statistically, but like you always remember him kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Always did what he
So
needed to do when they relied on him, but never
yeah.
really took the game over. I could see that for sure. All right, so Elijah Surratt, the 7 seed, moving on, and Seth McGowan, 10 seed, is staying put. Our last matchup for the Midwest round of 64, we've got the 15 seed tight end out of Cincinnati, Joe Royer, going up against the 2 seed Carnell Tate out of Ohio State. No shot for Royer in this one, but I would have loved to see what Royer could do in the combine because his tape is fun, man. This tight end class is just a bunch of smaller, quick guys. I think that might just be the way the NFL's heading a lot. But 2 solid seasons for him after transferring from Ohio State. Only 2 drops in his 2 seasons with Cincinnati. Contested catch at 59%, which is pretty good. 983 yards and 7 scores in 2 years. Just like all the other tight ends in this class, seemingly his run blocking grades were not great. But he is quick and runs solid routes. I like him as a sleeper tight end for sure.
Yeah, no, he's reliable, man. You highlighted a lot of his reliability, and I'll go even further to saying he caught all but 4 of his 33 targets last year.
Yeah.
And this pass blocking grade was the second highest in this tournament, but he did have the highest yards per reception and yards after contact per reception. So the utilization was a little low, but the explosiveness and the efficiency were great. But Royer is a player that we talked about before, and his 2025 stats are very much in contrast with his 2024 steps or stats. So he took a step in the right direction. But yeah, 7 scores, 900 yards over the past 2 years with Cincinnati. So he has productiveness in him. I don't think he's like a sexy name, but he's definitely a guy that's probably going to get picked up, pretty high 4th round or higher, I would guess, in the NFL draft.
I agree.
Yeah. I just wrote safety valve, dude.
Mm.
He just feels like every time you watch him, he can chip, and then he works like a zone coverage very well. So to me, it just feels like a real nice safety valve. Maybe someone he can come in and just be a rookie quarterback's Travis Kelce. Obviously,
Yeah.
obviously, I don't want to put that name out there, but
Yeah.
he did break the single season reception record that was previously held by
Ooh.
Travis Kelce, but he
Also
didn't
a
play.
Cincinnati guy.
But he
huh?
didn't
Yeah.
play. He didn't play quarterback, so that's where I'm thinking in a big spot right there. But
This
no,
is
dude,
why we
he
need
was
you,
fun.
brother.
Yeah,
Bringing
it's like
bringing
I'm looking up the
QB
weird facts,
pastimes.
the weird superstitious facts of RDR that
We've been
translate to
missing
nothing.
those. Yeah.
Yeah, we moved right on, and he's just bringing it all back
Oh, I'm
up.
still no, but no, I feel like he did that. He did a really good well of like chip blocking, sitting in a in a zone coverage. Like I think you can do that really well. So someone's gonna find value in that.
For sure.
So
He's also
Definitely.
in addition to that, he turns after he catches the ball really quickly and can turn up field, which helps with those safety valve catches. That's something I
Travis
noticed.
Kelce trait.
Yeah, for real. Oh, it's just mini Kelsey apparently. But yeah, so I'm with you. I think somebody's gonna fall in love with him and want him in their tight end room for sure. But definitely not enough to beat Carnell Tate. So Carnell Tate moves on, and Joe Royer stays put. So for your matchups for the round of 32 for the Midwest bracket, we got Jeremiah Love going up against Max Clare. We've got Omar Cooper Jr. going up against Chris Bell. We've
Amen,
got
brother.
Jadarian Price going up against Fernando Mendoza. And then we've got Elijah Surratt squaring off against Carnell Tate. So
Damn.
pretty juicy
Man.
Midwest round of 32.
Yeah, we got some first round losers in the Midwest that probably could have won the West.
Yeah, for real.
So it's getting nuts.
For
Oh,
real.
well.
But on that note, yeah, that has been the Midwest bracket. AJ, hopefully you can join us for more portions of the bracket this year. Hope to see you
Indeed.
soon. But until then, we've been Rough Draft Research. You've been the audience, and we'll see you next time.
Take a lease out on my heart.
I
much. The Dead Sad Surfer.